Hello, dear students. Welcome to online study. So, today we are going to read Moment, and the first chapter is The Lost Child. So, today we will discuss The Lost Child, and this chapter is written by Mulk Raj Anand. So, let's start. A child goes a child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? So actually the child the lost child is the story of a small child who gets lost in a fair. He had gone with his parents to the fair but loses them when he gets engrossed in looking at a roundabout swing. This story highlights the bond of love and affection that the child shares with his parents. Before losing them, he had been demanding different things like sweets, balloons, flowers, swings, etc. Once he loses them, he is picked up by a stranger. The stranger tries to quieten the child by offering him all these things that he had demanded from his parents. But the child does not want them anymore. He wants his parents first. So it was the small introduction of this chapter. So let's start with this first paragraph. The mm, it was the festival of spring. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys emerged a gaily clad humanity. Some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, others sat, being carried in bamboo and bullock carts. Well, one little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. So, here, first of all, we will get to know the word meaning. See the word meaning here. Wintry shades, wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys. So, here, the meaning of this phrase is in the winter season the narrow lanes were full of shades. Okay, immersed. Immersed. Immersed means came out. Came out. Brimming over. Brimming over means to be full of something. Okay, so this is the meaning of these word meanings. So the story is set in the spring season. As the winter season had just ended, all the people came out of their houses. They were cheerful as the chilling cold weather had ended. People conveyed through different modes: foot, horses, bamboo carts, and bullock carts. A little child was accompanied by his parents. He ran excitedly and often banged into his father's legs. He was full of life, excitement, and laughter. Come, child, come, called his parents as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way. See, lagged behind. Lagged behind means was left, was left behind. Okay. Fascinated. This fascinated. Fascinated means attracted. Attracted. Lined the way. Lined the way means were set up along the way. Okay. So this is the meaning of these given words. So the child was attracted to the toys which were displayed at the various stalls. As he would be left behind, his parents would call him to come with them. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call. His his eyes still lingering on the receding toys. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he would not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. See, lingering. Lingering means lasting for a long time. Lasting for a long time. Then receding. This receding. Receding means left behind. Left behind. Then suppress. Then suppress. Suppress means put and an end to. Cold. This cold, here cold, it is defined as without without any feeling, without any feelings or emotions, you can say. Okay. So here the child was obedient and would walk towards them on being called, but his eyes would keep on looking at the toys that he wanted. As he raised them, he could not control his desire to buy a toy. He was familiar to the reaction that they would give. He knew that they would stare him, indicating denial to buy him the toy. The child knew the emotionless way in which they would stare at him. Okay, so here, I want that toy, he pleaded. The child was unable to control his desire any longer, and he said that he wanted to buy the toy. His father, see, his father looked at him red eyed in his familiar tyrant's way. See, here tyrants means a cruel and oppressive ruler. Oppressive ruler. Okay, the father's eyes grew red with anger. He looked at the child just like a cruel ruler who was trying to oppress him. His mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender and giving him her finger to hold, and said, "Look, child, what is before you? Look, child, what is before you?" Melted means, here, melted means became tender and loving. The mother became emotional due to the cheerful mood. Lovingly, she gave her finger to the child to hold and guided him to a place. She asked him to see what was in front of him. See, it was flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze, till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it, but it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air. When he had almost caught it in his hands, then his mother gave a cautionary call. Come, child, come, come on to the footpath. Here. So, here, pale, P A L E, pale means dull. Okay, here, pale means dull, and Gaudi. You know what? Gaudi. What is the meaning of Gaudi? Gaudi means extremely bright and showy. So there was a vast field full of bright yellow colored mustard flowers. They seemed like flowing streams of gold and were widespread. A group of dragonflies, black bees, and butterflies buzzed around, sucking the nectar from the flowers. The child looked at the child looked at them as they flew around. When one of them sat somewhere, he tried to catch them, but the tiny creatures would fly away the next instant. The mother called out to him as they started walking down the footpath. So I have explained this paragraph. So in next video I will explain next paragraphs. So thank you children, and thank you so much.